Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. So, Karar, what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about your new Bulgari watch. No, I'm just kidding. We will be taking a closer look at the Rolex GMT-Master II Pepsi, and we will talk about its current value, its current market price, which is $7,000 above retail, and try to come to a conclusion if we think it's worth it or not. So we're sitting here with the Rolex GMT-Master II Pepsi. But before we go ahead, I'd like to introduce ourselves. I'm Karar, and this is
Alex?
Thank you guys for tuning in. And before we move ahead, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a thumbs up. So Alex, what do we have here?
We have one of the most hyped Rolex sports watches on the market.
Exactly. So the Rolex Pepsi, a little bit background, it was released back in 1954. And it was in production up until 2007, right?
Correct.
And it came in various different reference numbers, movements, and so on.
Yeah.
So 2007, Rolex discontinued the model, and they didn't really have a Pepsi in steel up until 11 years later.
Yeah, in 2018, when this one was released at Basel World.
Exactly. And do you remember when it got released?
How can you forget, man? I mean, the hype was crazy.
Exactly.
Crazy hype.
And I'd like to say that the hype is still pretty crazy for this model.
Yes, the market value tells us about, yeah, sure.
Exactly, and that's what we're going to dig into in this video. But before we do that, let's have a closer look at the watch.
All right, guys, so we got a 40mm stainless steel case with a lug-to-lug of 48mm. The case thickness is 12mm, and the watch is water resistant to 100 meters. It has a sapphire crystal and is powered by the Rolex caliber 3285. The case is brushed and has polished sides and a triplock Rolex crown. It comes in a Jubilee bracelet and has an oyster lock folding clasp. The clasp features a 5mm Easy-Link adjustment.
All right, Alex, so tell me a little bit, what do you like about the watch and what don't you like with the watch?
All right, so guys, first of all, it's a pretty nice looking watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic Rolex piece. I mean, solid, quality is impeccable. Everything's, it got a real nice feel to it. I don't like the maxi case particularly much. Most because my wrists are slim, 16.5 centimeters, so that's around 6.5 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So it wears chunky on my wrist.
Yeah.
That's my issue with the case. The bracelet, though, the Jubilee bracelet, is a part that I like really much.
Mm-hmm.
Most people prefer the oyster, but I think it's nice to see the Pepsi back on the Jubilee.
Yeah.
What's good about the Jubilee compared to the oyster is that it doesn't scratch up as easily.
Yeah.
On the Batman, for example, you get the polished center links.
Yeah.
Which we don't have here. So, I mean, you can wear it quite much and actually don't really see that.
Still keep it mint, so to say. Yeah.
So that's what I like about it. So let me hear your thoughts.
Absolutely. I have to say I kind of agree with you in regards to the case. This is a 40mm case, as we just saw. The difference, though, is that this has the new maxi case. So if you compare it, for example, with the Daytona or the older version of this, which both are 40mm, this one wears a lot chunkier.
Yeah.
And that's due to the case, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little bit on the downside for me, because I don't really like chunky watches. More of a Daytona guy myself. When it comes to the bracelet, I have to agree with you. The Jubilee bracelet looks pretty good. I've never had the Jubilee on before. When I tried it on, I didn't really feel that much of a difference between the Jubilee and the oyster on the wrist. but that could also be because I like to wear my watches pretty tight.
Yeah.
And last but not least, I really love the colorway of the watch. The blue with the red bezel.
Iconic.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, when you hear Pepsi bezel, you think of Rolex
Absolutely.
immediately. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's an icon.
Oh, you don't think about Tag Heuer?
I don't.
Yeah, so the colorway is absolutely amazing. So really love that part of the watch.
All right, guys. So let's talk a bit more about the market value of this watch. So we are looking at a stainless steel sport Rolex watch.
Yep.
That has a retail price of approximately $10K. But the market value is significantly higher.
Yep.
And it trades around $17K.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a premium of $7,000.
Yeah.
And the question is, why?
Exactly. So I think you can contribute that to three key factors. One of them, which is social media, the impact that social media have had over people. You can see this watch on pretty much every watch page on Instagram. Yeah. It's an extremely popular watch. The demand for it is sky high. So one of the key points is obviously social media. The second point that is pretty important to understand as well is the mentality of people that buys Rolex watches. You know how they say, you can buy a watch,
wear it, sell it, either don't lose money or even better, make profit of wearing a watch.
Exactly.
The ultimate dream for every watch collector.
Yep.
Or watch flipper for that sense also.
Yeah, and if you tell somebody that you can buy a watch for $15,000, you can wear it and then you can sell it down the line and get your money back, and even better, even make a profit on that. That's a pretty good statement to make.
So we have got an in-stream of people that are not maybe watch nerds.
Yeah.
Like ourselves, you know, they're not hardcore watch guys, but they've seen a chance to buy a status symbol as a Rolex is, wear it, you know, use it, flash around in the city, and then
and on social media,
and on social, of course, and then eventually sell it and make a profit.
Yeah,
and then also we have the third aspect, and that's the Rolex supply, basically.
Yeah.
It's an impossible piece for an average guy to come in and get at the local AD.
Yeah, that's impossible.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So a lot of people can forget about that. Where we live in Sweden, you can't even put your name up on any kind of waiting list or whatever you want to call it. You basically need to have a pretty long relationship with the AD to even get close to a piece like this. The market obviously is different depending on where you are in the world, but you can't just walk in and get a Pepsi today, and that's why it is trading at such a high premium.
All right, Karar, so let me ask you this. Would you pay $17,000 for this watch?
Would I? To be honest with you guys, at $17,000, I'd pick something else. And that isn't because I don't believe the watch is worth $17,000, although that can be discussed. I think if you really love this watch at $17,000, it makes sense if you're buying to keep. It's not a terrible price compared.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You think it's terrible? Actually, I mean, if you look at how the market is right now, I don't think it's a terrible price. Steel Nautiluses are going for $60,000-$70,000. A Pepsi can very well go for 17, in my opinion. So no, I would personally not buy it for 17. How about you? Would you buy it for 17?
No, never.
Never?
No, not a single chance. I mean, if it wasn't for the premium, I probably wouldn't get it at retail either, to be honest, to be fully honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, $10K for a watch.
Is it because you don't like the watch, or is it?
I like the watch, but I mean, it's not so good that I can motivate $10K for it.
Yeah.
I mean, as we said earlier, the case size is my main issue. If it was a slimmer watch, I'd probably consider it. But with, all in all, 10K for a mass-produced stainless steel Rolex, I don't know, man.
Okay.
I mean, if
so
it was
you're saying
6-7K, sure,
So-
fine. I could live with the case for 6-7K. But yeah,
so you're even saying no to it at retail?
I'd buy it at retail if I got the chance.
Yeah.
But I'd wear it a bit probably, and
Yeah.
then I'd probably sell it because
Yeah.
I couldn't. I don't come along with get along with the maxi case.
Yeah, that's because you're a flipper as well.
Yeah, I have problems. I have problems.
You do. I mean, when it comes to retail price, if I'd be able to get my hands on the Pepsi at retail for around 10.5, I'd definitely keep it. And I'd probably wear it as well, but I would keep it for the long run. I would have it part of my collection because I think it's an iconic watch. And I would love to have this reference in 30 years' time.
Yeah, but okay, let's throw in another question. If the market price wasn't as high as it is right now, let's say the market price was lower than the retail price, would you still buy it at retail?
I would probably not buy it at retail. But if that would be the case, then let's take your hypothesis to the next level. Then the Daytona should be priced similarly in comparison, and that is what I would buy. So the conclusion is we don't really think it's up at 17K. For the right person, if this is something you truly love, and
follow your heart.
Yeah, and if you're buying to keep, I think it's an okay deal at 17. Otherwise, no.
Short answer. All right, guys. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you like it. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. And see you next time.